So, good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jay Phillips. I'm the president of the Fayette County Young Democrats. So, real quick, let me get a shameless plug for them. If you're under 40, registered Democrat, and living in Fayette County, please come get involved. We've grown our ranks from around 5 active members in 21. We're now up to about 80. So we'll take it. We're really easy. All of our socials are the same, at Fayette YD, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, whatever the social media of the week is, we're on it. So please connect with us, get involved. We try to post funny content occasionally, but so be it. All right, so before we get started on this, few rules. I'm an attorney by day, so I like rules. Be respectful, please. We've seen enough of the disrespect. Not from any of us, of course, but otherwise. One question, please. We've got a lot of faces in here, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions in the room. We want to be able to hear as many of those as possible. Keep it brief in that same vein. Please, no personal attacks if you can keep from it, unless it's towards Elon or Don or somebody like that. And then be sure to talk into the microphone just so everybody else can hear. Jordan, raise your hand, is going to be my mic runner. So you can find him. Whenever the time comes for questions, if you want to form a line, form it on this side, that way we can talk towards, or just raise your hands and we'll get the mic to you if you can't join the line. All right, so let's get started. Ready? All right, so let's talk about our panelists really quick. They've dedicated their time and energy to serving our community, and we're excited to hear their perspectives today. So tell me who you are. It's 60 seconds, roughly. Roughly what gerrymandered district you represent, and briefly highlight one of your successes from this session. So let's start with Chad.
Well, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
My name's Chad Aull. I'm state representative for the 79th district here in Lexington. My district encompasses the University of Kentucky and mostly the neighborhoods that surround and south of UK, from Nicholasville Road on the west to Richmond Road on the east, down to New Circle, and there is a little gerrymandered insert that gets the island and like Patchen Village and Mount Tabor and some of that Palumbo Drive south over to Man o' War area. I'm in my second term, so I just finished my third legislative session, and my biggest accomplishment in this session was finding out that I can find members of the majority party who like my bills so much that they are willing to take them and pass them and get them across the finish line in a bipartisan manner. So it is difficult to get things done in the minority in Frankfort, but if you care less about credit and more about getting things done and can be quiet about what you're doing, you can find some willing partners across the aisle to get a couple of bills passed. And so that's kind of what I've been focusing on, so we can improve the lives of people we serve.
Hallelujah.
Let's go with George is here. Adrielle.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Adrielle Camuel. I'm the state rep for House District 93, which is the south side of Fayette County. The northernmost part of my district butts up into the 79th, so my district ends directly across the street from where Chad lives. And I go all the way down to almost to the point where we reach Jessamine County on Tates Creek Road, but not quite, because they moved the 39th up into that area. So I've got Tanbark, Waterford, Glassford, but not the Pinnacle area. So talking about gerrymandered district, that's really what it is I'm lucky that they took part of 2/3 of the 88th and gave it to me, because I've been knocking that district for years. I've got a little bit of the 79th, I've got a little bit of the 45th, So they just kind of plopped me down in a little bit of a D heavy. It's plus 7D in my district. So feel like that's one where hopefully until they gerrymander again, hopefully we can hold that one, or I plan on holding it, you know, like fight. But anyway, so things about me. I just finished my second session, so I'm a half of a term in and starting my first full term. But you know, one of the positives that I can speak to, and I'll kind of capitalize on what Chad said, there are some people in Frankfurt who are in the majority party who do recognize good policy, and knowing that we cannot get a bill passed on our own. I did the same. I had 5 priority bills that I worked very hard with members of the majority, and we got one across the finish line. So 3 of them made it past one chamber but didn't pass the other. We were just waiting on the Senate to pick up a few bills, but the one that I am really happy and I'm gonna hang my hat on and take my victory lap on it, SB 150, one of the unintended consequences of SB 150 is we were no longer allowed to, in public schools, to do the lessons where we are teaching about sexual abuse education, so that it would help the adults in the room identify kids who might have been victims of child sexual abuse or child sex trafficking. And it is now mandatory as of June 27th. Schools grades 5 and under will be able to once again do those lessons. So it's pages 14 and 15 of SB 181. That's my bill. There's no ability to opt out. You don't have to opt in. It has to be taught. So that's my story in the end.
Adam?
Woo woo! That's my brother.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Moore. I represent the 45th House District. Southwestern Fayette County, think about the Harrisburg Road corridor. I go over to Nicholasville Road where I meet Adrielle's district. All the way over to the Woodford County line, I have the airport, I have Keeneland, very exciting. That district used to only be in Fayette County, but it started getting close. Like, it's been held by Republicans for 24 years, but it started getting close. So they doubled the size of it geographically, and they went down into Jessamine County, and they added Wilmore, and they added Nicholasville, but I went ahead and beat them and flipped the district anyway. In my first term, Chad and Adrielle did a good job about getting things passed that were their ideas, even if they didn't take the credit. I was a little bit louder and more brash. I'm going to take some credit this year. We passed House Bill 236 for affordable epinephrine through the House. That was my bill. It did not make it through the Senate. That will be filed on day 1 next year. It'll be filed on day 1. That will pass to the House and the Senate, and will make sure that no Kentuckian gets priced out of life-saving medication. And then also, one of my other bills was attached to a Republican bill from the lady from Shelby, and that did move through. That does become law, so our caregivers will have the right to vote early with those they give care for. And then the last thing I'll plug is there are many caucuses in the state legislature, and a caucus is an informal body that can get together when they want, where they want. But they have an issue that's important to them. There might be a bourbon caucus that makes sure that our distillers, our distributors are working together to ensure that our bourbon industry is afloat. And so there is no veterans caucus to look out for the 6.7% of Kentuckians who are veterans, or the roughly 25% of Kentuckians who have a direct, as in father, mother, brother, sister, child, who is a veteran. I founded a veterans caucus in the state legislature this year. We had our first meeting. I'm now chairing that caucus, and I'm excited about making sure that we serve veterans, especially in defense of the drug Washington might be trying to take away from those veterans. So that's it, and glad to be here with y'all today.
Woo woo!
Thanks for organizing that.
Glad to.
Ann.
All right. I am Ann Gay Donworth. I represent the 76th District, which is just north of Chad's district. It goes all the way over to Russell Cave, then over to parts of Hamburg. You talk about a gerrymandered district. Part of what was in the 76th District, the more conservative part of the 76th District, was taken out of that and added into the 88th, which was Cherlynn Stevenson's district. So my district is like plus 17 or 18 Dem. So I got to be a little bit more aggressive, shall we say. So they very nicely got to get pieces of legislation through. However, they did it. I did not. My biggest accomplishment this year was being a pain in the ass to all of the
I'll take it. Yeah, no, that's an important role to fill. Very important. All right, so raise your hand if you have a question. We'll go ahead and move into Q&A. So Jordan, there's one in the very